So in this video, I just wanted to demonstrate a spatial join. And so I have some data in a shared database for Mod 4, and there's a schema called spatial join. And in here I have a couple of tables, sites, and tenures. Now we can take a look at these tables quickly. View data, all rows. And the sites table comes back with its ID, its name, and its geometry. And I can actually take a peek at the geometry with the built-in geometry viewer. And I can also take a look at tenures. And again, I'll have to slide across on this one. I can slide across over here. Not as many points, but there's 3 polygons there, 1, 2, and 3. And that. Now I have a better view, I guess you could say, if you take a look in QGIS. So I have a base map. I have the exact same data loaded, sites and tenures from the database. And so we can see here that these polygons are indeed overlapping. And so there are some sites that fall both inside this particular tenure. So if I make tenures active, this is tenure 1, this is tenure 3, this is tenure 2. And I have some sites that fall outside, I have some sites that fall inside, and then I have certain sites that fall within 2 of them. And so if I want to do a spatial join, who falls in, which sites are in which tenure, conceptually, I can actually ask the database that. I mean, visually I can see, but then I have to inspect each site. So I could go down here and click. I'll make sites the active layer. So I can click on here. That is site 01, and this is site 02. Okay, so how to ask that same question in the database. Okay, so I need to create a query. So I'm going to start select and then from. And I'm going to drag the tables on to the from clause. I'll fix select there in a second. So there it is. Now it's dragging. So I want to select from these 2 tables. There. And what do I want to select? I'm going to give them aliases because these are very long names. So I'll just call this S. I'll call this T. And I'm going to go site dot, I believe it's name, and tenure dot. So you don't, never hurts to actually expand this and take a look at the columns. It is name, right? And on the other table, that's sites. Let's get the tenures there. It's also a column name, just to double check. And then I have to join them, right? So all of the from clause does is responsible for joining. I'm going to do this on the where clause. And I'll go where, and I'll use the built-in spatial function st within. Now you have to be careful with these predicate type functions. Within, a polygon is never going to be within a point, so I should add, if I'm asking this, it's usually, are we asking is the first geometry within the second? So definitely want to put the site geometry first. So it's the site geometry within the tenure geometry. So that's in there. How are we joining this on columns being equal? No, we're joining this spatially based on a spatial relationship between the points in sites and the polygons in tenures. And so I'll just fire that off and we'll see what happens there. And so we get a report back, right, of in that. Now it might help to order the data. We will order by. Let's go tenure name. So I'll just grab that there. So we'll have all the sites for tenure 1, then tenure 2, and tenure 3. So we'll just fire that off. There, sorted in order. And so we have site 1 showing up here on tenure 1. And we also have, if we scroll down, we also have site 1 showing up at tenure 3. We have site 2 also showing up on tenure 3. And if we go to the top, we also have site 2 showing up on tenure 1. So I'm going to bring QGIS back onto the screen so that we can confirm that. So I'm going to scroll over here. And what we're talking about is this overlapping area here. So I'll just zoom in a bit in that. And so make sites active, and I'll get the identify tool. So that is site 1, and that is site 2. And so we can see that the database has figured out correctly which sites are landing within a tenure, and we can see that site 1 and site 2 lands on tenure 1, but site 1 and site 2 also land on tenure 3, which is what we also confirm visually in QGIS. So this is there's several predicate functions. ST within, contains, touches, disjoint, cover by in that. These are pretty common terms. If you want to select by location, here, select by location, you'll see contain, disjoint, touch, overlap, are within, cross. So these words are kind of common. Intersect is more broad. It would include a lot of these different categories. So this concept of contain, within, crosses, overlap, touch, in that these are standard predicates, and again you see them showing up here in QGIS, and we also see the built-in function here within the database. That's all for now.